Hello future educators! Welcome to my vlog. So for today's video, we will talk about racism. So without further ado, let's start! Did you know that? The world is continuously faced with different issues ranging from economic downturns, warfare, natural calamities, and many other problems. However, a problem that tends to bud evil many communities is the issue of racism. So what is this racism all about? So it refers to the act of discriminating or looking down upon an individual from a different race itself. It is based on the unfortunate idea that a particular race is more superior to another. Undoubtedly, although racism is assumed to be less grievous compared to other global issues, it has continuously lagged most communities behind as it exists in different societal spheres. So the United States is known to have the most significant number of incarcerated citizens compared to other developed nations. So according to statistics on arrests, incarcerations, and prison of population, blacks are disproportionately represented compared to any other people of color. The existence of racial discrimination means that people are not productive as they ought to be, but not active as they should receive a poor education and sent to jail for the slightest crimes committed. So, the news issue on racism entitled Larger Majority Says Racism Against Black People Widespread. So, this story highlights that 64% now say racism against black people is widespread in the United States. The satisfaction with treatment of black people remains near low point. So, more United States adults than in 2020 say civil rights for black people have improved. Okay, so Gallup's 2021 update on minority rights and relations finds that an increasing percentage of US adults believe racism against black people is widespread in the United States. Relatedly, American satisfaction with the treatment of black people remains near its historical low. At the same time, more Americans than a year ago believe civil rights for black people in the United States have improved in their lifetimes, though the 69% holding this view remains lower than Gallup's pre-2020 readings. So a majority of Americans believe black people are treated less fairly by police in their community than white people are. But most do not believe black people are treated less fairly in other situations. Did you know that white Americans in previous years tended to be more likely than Hispanic or black Americans to believe that civil rights for black people have improved? This year, however, white and Hispanic Americans are equally likely to hold this view, with black Americans least likely to believe this. All racial groups are less optimistic about civil rights advances today than they were before in the year of 2015. Over time, members of all racial groups have become more likely to perceive that black people in their community are treated less fairly than white people in these situations. As the bottom line of this news, Americans continue to be concerned about the treatment of black people in the United States, with that concern increasing significantly since 2015, particularly in the past 2 years amid a greater public awareness and sensitivity to racial inequalities. So, US adults still see progress on black Americans' civil rights during their own lifetimes, but are less inclined to say this than in the past. So Black Americans continue to be most pessimistic about the situation for Black people in the United States. And much more so than white or Hispanic Americans are, with most Americans believing racism is widespread. Satisfaction with treatment of Black people near record lows, and fewer today than in the past seeing progress towards civil rights. The environment for meaningful change in public policy and society seems favorable. However, as occurred with federal legislation and police reform last year, partisan disagreements over what should be done could prevent from formal public policy changes from being made. So, as conclusion, every race has its good and bad people, but everyone is different. Finally, there may be one day when racism could finish. It is possible because all the people may find the right solution to this problem. The author goes on finding the reasons behind existing of the concept of racism, on how the blacks have many obstacles in their lives and the comparison with other races. The society has a big impact on this race that makes it difficult for them to do what they need to get a thing could be done. Although this race is human sometimes, they just do not get treated that way, and every other race should have empathy and think how they would feel. Not one person on earth deserves to be treated if they were animals. So this proves right here how there are issues that are not fair. There are ones who get treated worse and others who get treated better. Although no one is perfect and make everyone feels weak at one point, there is a need to be a kindness to help make everyone come together. Overall, there have been many horrible events that took place in America. So while the time passes, if racism does not continue, then maybe life will be back to normal. In addition to that, if there are changes, maybe all Americans might get along, and that can prevent from violence occurring. So therefore, we need to be an understatement on all race, mainly because all do not think the same and some do crimes. But they should be treated fairly. So that's all for my vlog for today. I hope that you've learned something new from my video. So this has been Nergy Digit from Blessed English 2A. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye!